There's been a hashtag on Twitter I noticed for the last few months, Bernie or bust. And this week, I've been enjoying watching them busting. Is it wrong that I take such joy watching Bernie Sanders fans immolate themselves on Twitter? That was a rhetorical question. Answer is no. No, I think Trump supporters are angry, uninformed idiots who embrace ignorance like a lover. But I hate Bernie bros, and I use that term gender neutrally. I hate them because they're idealists. Worse, millennial idealists. There's nothing quite like the moral superiority of people who don't know shit about how the world works. The unblemished virtue of people with no fucking life experience. That's the Bernie bros, bathing in the Kool-Aid of ideological purity. You know what an idealist is? Somebody who gets nothing done, full of sound and fury, accomplishing nothing. Yeah, Sanders himself talked like an old Trotskyite about revolution and struggle, but he actually made a difference because he used his political capital and influence to change the position of somebody actually capable of making change happen. That's why he endorsed Hillary Clinton, to make concrete action possible on issues he and his supporters cared about. But to the wide-eyed veal who'd been backing him, that meant Sanders was a sellout. Idiots. There's a difference between making a sale and selling out. Bernie bros live in Narnia, and the minute anyone walks through the wardrobe, their magic is gone. It's gone. Gone. That's the peril of appealing to young voters. They don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, yet they think they're the only ones who do. Now, in this, Sanders supporters aren't any different than previous waves of young voters. Every generation sees history as something that happened to people far less smart than they are. So it's kind of Bernie's own fault that his own zealots are turning on him. He was selling a fantasy to people too naive to know. He wasn't stealing candy from a baby, he was feeding candy to a baby. Or more like selling cotton candy to diabetics.
If you have diabetes, you check your blood sugar and you check it often.
When Sanders refused to admit defeat when he was clearly defeated, but pledged to carry on with some pipe dream of a path to victory, he was telling his followers that reality was a tool of the oppressors. So when Bernie finally embraced reality, he became the oppressor's tool. And this is why I hate idealists. Compromise is collusion. These people want to make an omelet without breaking any eggs.
Idiots.
The bros couldn't even see the victories they scored in shaping the Democratic platform. No, that's idealists. If it isn't 100%, it's zero. Again, it's Bernie's fault for whipping his supporters into believing that Hillary Clinton wasn't an opponent, but an enemy. So supporting her is like kneeling before Zod. Because to these stinking idealists, Hillary Clinton can't possibly be progressive because she's been a part of the system. Doesn't matter that she was working within the system for progressive causes. They confuse getting your hands dirty with being dirty. She made speeches to banks? Big deal. It means banks will give her a hearing. She's on the Walmart board. So, do you want no voices for workers at the table? These zygote zealots think only someone who's been without power or influence can possibly change the system. That's like saying that a professional soldier is less qualified to lead men into battle than a guy who plays D&D. And this is another reason why I hate those stinking idealists. They sit in judgment while sitting on their hands. They think standing outside a building yelling gets more done than speaking to people inside the building. Hey guys, the walls of boardrooms are soundproof. If you want to be heard, you have to be inside the room. So let me remind these idealists of the words of President Teddy Roosevelt. Not the guy in the wheelchair, the guy that inspired a genre of stuffed animals. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Sorry, it's just so beautiful. Give me a minute. Let me close by saying at least one nice thing about the Bernie or bust bros. They're taking their pledge seriously. Honestly, it appears that a number of them are planning to eat gassy meals before going into the Democratic convention to hear Hillary Clinton speak. And when she starts talking, they plan to blast ass. No, I'm not kidding. In 2016, presidential politics are just that fucked up.